We're still several months away from For Honor's release, but that hasn't stopped the creative among us from making some incredible fan art. Hi, my name is MrSmartDonkey, and in this video I'll be showing you my top 10 favorite fan art creations. Starting off the list at number 10 is a black and white shieldless Viking warlord created by Nightmare of Reality. What I like about this piece is that even though it's got such loose brushstrokes, there is still so much detail as well. From the breastplate in the center, to the fur around the shoulders, to the helmet on his head. At number 9 we have another black and white piece, this time in the form of a warden made by Mike ZZZZ. What becomes very clear immediately when looking at this warden is that shadows play a big role. The entire piece comes alive because of them. Beyond that, I'm very impressed with the little things, such as the holes in the belt and the rivets on the breastplate. Coming in at number 8 we have a black and white alternative raider by Whiskey Todd. Rather than using his trusty two-handed axe, he appears to have taken up the berserker's double axes. The piece itself is very interesting in that rather than white being the predominant color, black has taken that role, making this a very dark but very accentuated piece because of it. On to number 7, where we can see our first colored piece, made by Muserium, who actually made another piece of fan art for Honor, which didn't quite make it into the top 10. On the piece that did make it in, we can see an Orochi in the background accompanied by a warden and warlord in the foreground. I think the brush style is very interesting here and fits the theme well. Next up at number 6 we actually have another warden, who appears to be one of the more popular For Honor characters to create art of. This piece was made by G21MM as part of a commission. Despite that, it doesn't look like he held back on the effort he took when creating this. To me the best part is the way the light is portrayed. The shadows are absolutely on point. On the number 5 spot we finally have something other than a warden. This time it's a Kensei, made by Natsulilipon. A different style from the images we've seen so far. What makes me like this piece a lot is the smoothness of it. The way the helmet looks like it's just been painted by a spray can. The way the rope actually looks like it's made of whatever material rope is made of. It's a very unique look compared to other pieces. Moving on to number 4 we have yet another warden, this time by Abilaikan. I really like this piece because at first glance it looks quite simplistic, but the more you look at it, the more details you will find. From the scratches on the helmet, to the bloodstains on the gauntlets and the dirt on the sword hilt. The image is littered with small details like that, and that's what earns it the number 4 spot. We've arrived at the top 3, starting with, you guessed it, number 3. We're getting to the real top-notch quality stuff now. This piece, made by Aogai, really captures the For Honor essence. All 3 factions on the battlefield facing off against one another. We'll see a bloodied Vanguard in the back, a raider with an arrow sticking out of his back, and an Orochi who appears to be unharmed. Around them a battlefield littered with weapons and birds flying above looking for some fresh bodies to pack at. No matter where you look, you'll see something interesting. Moving on to the number 2 spot, we have the Orochi by Nordic Bastard. I might be a bit biased because I love the Orochi character, but I think it's safe to say that this piece is absolutely brilliant. I love the color scheme. While mostly being black and white, Nordic Bastard chose to accentuate the warmer red color, making some of the bits like the Tori really stand out. There's so much to look at here. Every bit of armor is accurately represented. The background is almost an entirely different style, which makes the character stand out even more. Absolutely brilliant. Finally, we've arrived at the number 1 spot. Another raider, this time drawn by the extremely capable hands of Ronnie Solano. I think my choice here might be a bit controversial with the previous pieces being absolutely phenomenal, but nonetheless this is my favorite one. I know I've used the word detail too many times in this video already, but allow me to use it once more. The detail in this image is absolutely incredible. Just look at the helmet, especially on the right side where the light originates from is plastered with detail. The fur shoulder pad looks like it's actually made of fur. You can see each individual strain of hair. Even the smaller things like the talisman hanging from the raider's neck have received the same treatment. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Before we end this episode, I have a few honourable mentions. These creations aren't quite fan art because they were made by the people that worked on the game in one way or another, but I thought they were worth a mention anyway. First up, an image of a female warden made by Remco Troost for the cover of Imagine FX's magazine. Next up are some of the mood boards Arthur Sadlos made for the For Honor cinematic trailer. Excellent images, but as they were made by someone who worked on the trailer for the game, it just wouldn't be fair to include them in the top 10 of fan art. Last, but definitely not least, we have concept art for both the Warden as well as the Lawbringer by one of Ubisoft concept artists, Guillaume Manuel. that will be it for this top 10 of For Honor fan art. Remember, this was my personal top 10 and my taste might differ from yours. Feel free to let me know if you would have put pieces in a different order, or if you've seen a different piece altogether you think should have been in my list. Perhaps I will revise this list in the future when more fan art has been made. That'll do it. Thank you guys very much for watching, hope you've enjoyed, have a good day and goodbye.